November the 8th, Thursday morning. We wake up and it just looked like a beautiful morning, but in fact, the town was on fire.
Where we lived was at the top of a ridge, and where we had to go was at the bottom of that ridge. Generally a 10-minute drive to get to the next town.
And there was a tree that was on fire, the grass was on fire, the truck was on fire, and I knew there was a propane tank behind that house. So I said, Carl, we have to leave here. We have to turn around.
And so for the next 4 hours, we were driving through the fire. We were driving through people whose cars were falling apart, some on fire, people walking, people running. All sorts of things was going on. As time went on, I don't know how long it was, a day or something, that we finally found out that our address was one of the ones that was destroyed.
Carl is a very quiet man. He doesn't talk about his feelings a lot. And the stress was building up. We didn't know how much the stress was building up.
I had a stroke and I was in a hospital for 23 days.
Carl was absolutely unresponsive when we got to the hospital, but they were able to save his life. It is something very dramatic to watch your husband of 48 years and not know whether he is going to survive.
After the stroke, one of the biggest things was that was my vision.
He was just terrified to be in the car with me. Now, a lot of men are terrified to have their wife drive. That wasn't it. It was his vision that had been disturbed because of the stroke.
My eyes were not working together. They'd see a car come, but once that car would get to a certain period or a certain distance, it would then move over to the right side and would be coming straight at us, driving along.
And as he would see these vehicles come and look like they were going to hit us head on, he said, Shirley, I just can't do this.
My wife knew about not this place, but Weimar, and that's where I ended up.
When he went to have his first blood draw here, they could not get the needle in any place, and they had stuck him all over the place. And the same thing happened when he was in the hospital.
They needed to bring in one of their specialists to get the blood out of my system.
Usually I'm the one stick wonder. You know, get me the hard sticks, I get you one stick, you know, after they've been stuck several times. But so I thought I was going to get him, like one stick. I want to try him 5 times, and I seen that he was hurting. So I said, Mr. Grear, we got to stop. You know, we can't just keep poking you all day. Your veins aren't out. He was so swollen.
After the word got to the doctors and so on, they told me that what I needed to do was drink a lot more water than I was drinking.
But when he had been here a few days and he'd been drinking the water and the water began to work, we were driving and he said, wait a minute, I don't need to put my glasses on. I don't think I need to put my glasses on.
My vision began to come back, is what it was. And we were out on the road again. And that's where I realized that things had changed, because we were driving down the same road and the cars were doing what they were supposed to do, stay in their lane.
When I seen him the second time for the second blood draw, 2 weeks after I assumed he had his blood drawn somewhere else. He says, no, we didn't get it done anywhere else. We wanted to go through the program, follow the health principles, drink the water.
So I'm looking around. I didn't watch him. I didn't have to. I just knew it was going to happen. But I heard him say, he said, he says, well, will you look at that? The blood was flowing. It was just flowing, and he's going 1, and I didn't even look. I don't know what he did, but he counted 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then it was all done, just like that. He had his 4 vials.
Without water, I believe I would have lost my husband sooner or later. The condition of his blood was so thick that it really impacted everything in what he could do and how he was feeling.
Yeah, water was number one. It was a big part of what took place, and it has not been dehydrated since then. I have not stopped drinking water since then because I know what was necessary. Me and water get along really well.